hello again. It is of course time for some more Doctor Who talk. So, Series 7 is now finished until Christmas. I've got to say, it certainly seems to have flown by. Still not quite so sure about this whole split series format, though that is probably just because I am quite impatient. I don't like waiting. I've heard quite mixed reviews on it. Some people prefer it. Do let me know what you think. So basically I thought this week I'm just going to do a recap on my thoughts on Series 7 as a whole so far. It's certainly been pretty varied. We've had Daleks, Dinosaurs, Alien Cubes, Weeping Angels, and even a horse called Susan. It's been quite a ride, and I've got to say, so far I've loved it. The puns have certainly had a quite memorable last 5 episodes. The puns themselves have come quite a long way, I think. This series has shown them a lot more mature. Certainly a long way from the wide-eyed Amelia and bumbling Rory that we were first introduced to back in season 5. It was made clear during this series that the puns were becoming quite used to long periods without the Doctor, perhaps to show that they would be able to cope without him when he leaves. Or perhaps maybe there is some truth to what people are saying, that it's possible that the episodes in this series are not actually in the right order, and maybe the Doctor did go back and visit them, although of course that's generally considered a no-no. It did at times see though that possibly the Doctor did have some kind of insight as to what was coming from the things that he said and the way that he acted around them. I did think it was a shame throughout this series that Rory once again seemed to be sort of in the sidelines really, and it was more like he was the sidekick to Amy, which is a shame because if nothing else, Rory has really proved himself as a companion in his own right. But I guess when it comes down to it, the story started out as being about the Doctor and Amy, and that's kind of how it finished too. The departure was certainly quite heartbreaking, as is often the case when companions are left behind or choose to live. We also, of course, had the surprise introduction to Jenna-Louise Coleman. I have to say I was very impressed by what I've seen of her so far, and now I'm really looking forward to Christmas to see some more of her. She seems like a great actress, and the character herself, obviously we don't know how she's going to fit in, or if it's going to be the same character that comes back, as she's apparently going to be named Clara, and this was Oswin. But I think everybody's eager to see how that's going to pan out really, and how it's going to happen. The episodes so far this season have all been fairly standalone really. There's of course been that there's some themes running throughout it, as is always the case, and it is always the continuing story. I wonder if there'll be any bigger themes running through the latter half of the season, but it does seem to have been suggested that the more sort of standalone blockbuster type stories. I think this has both its pros and its cons really. What do you think of this? One theme of course that we have seen emerging over Series 7 is the whole dark side to the Doctor that seems to be emerging. I mean, that's not to say we've never seen this before, but it's certainly unusual in the Doctor as we've come to know him today, and I'm really curious to find out what effect the Pond's leaving is going to have on this, and if it's going to send that spiralling out of control even further. We've seen it in some effect in pretty much every episode so far. Really looking forward to the rest of the season and seeing what there is to come. I will be doing a vlog next week about the upcoming series and the Christmas special, so I will see you then. Also, just a quick mention, if you don't already, I'd suggest that you go to Facebook and search for The Doctor and the TARDIS by Craig Hill. I will link it in the description below, but I have quite an addiction to this page. Definitely one of the best Doctor Who pages about. Constantly updated every day with news and videos and pictures, and it's something there to feed your Doctor Who addiction until back on screens, so check that out. Anyway, I'm going to leave it for now. Please do leave a comment and let me know what you thought of the series so far, and any other thoughts about it you may have, and I'll see you all next week. Goodbye.